Hey guys, welcome to the Days of Comics Past podcast. My name is Mike Neal, and with me
Caleb
is
Eugene.
Caleb. I heard you. I was gonna say Caleb Eugene, but you butted in. But Caleb Eugene, as well as Retro Bro. How are you guys, man?
Hello, hello. Happy Ishtar.
Easter,
Easter. Yes, I was
Easter.
kidding. I was making a historical joke.
Well, explain that because I don't quite understand it.
Oh well, Easter derives from the pagan tradition Ishtar, but I don't want to. I don't want to get into all that. I just
Eh.
threw that in there. How you
All
guys
right,
doing
so
though?
wonderful. What are you guys doing anything for Easter?
This,
For sure. Same.
basically
Ooh,
this. Yeah.
you guys didn't celebrate at all, or
Um.
Ate food. That's about it.
Nah, I didn't really celebrate it.
oh, all right. Well, I think that we have some Easter related stories to talk about.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
like the
Uh,
churches that decided to fill up today.
I mean, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
mean,
Why?
that like let's screw social distancing. We're gonna just hop up in the fucking churches and do what we want to do. You know.
Because all you got to do is blow the winds of God.
Did you see that, Caleb?
Yeah, I did. I seen a bunch of stupid shit.
That was painful. Very painful.
I'll spit God. I will spit on. I'll spit on COVID-19.
I'm not gonna lie, like I've been saying as a joke since I saw that video. If I didn't already know in my heart that God is real, if I saw that, I would be a dead atheist. Like flat, like brainwashed. Come on
I
now. I
could.
blow the wind. He sounded like Storm from X-Men. I blow the winds of the gods.
I can understand that. I could understand that. Well, I have an Easter story, or a Easter news article to talk about. So there was a lady in Tampa, Florida, and she decided. I think it was a couple of days ago. She decided that she was going to put little Easter eggs in people's mailboxes, like the little plastic Easter eggs. And look, I got a picture of one. There it is. I'm gonna block out people's faces. Uh, so that's one of the Easter eggs that she put in somebody's mailbox, and
What is that inside?
well, that's what I was going to explain. It's really hard to tell, but in the very bottom of it, it's a single cheddar goldfish, just one little single goldfish, and
No.
it. Hold on, hold
No.
on. So, and then the that's a little drink packet, the like you put in bottled water. That's a little drink packet that like you would put in bottled water. And so she put something to eat in there. She put something to drink. And what you don't see that she put in there was a single ply or sheet of toilet paper. She put one little sheet of toilet paper, but the one thing that she put in there that really kind of pissed people off was she put pornographic images in the little Easter egg.
Wait. Stop. Let's rewind. A goldfish, a single goldfish, drink packets, a sheet of toilet paper, and some porn.
Yes.
So she said that
Yes.
means a human being sat there one day. She went to the store. Okay, she had to shop for this. She bought a bunch of plastic Easter eggs, drink packets, got like maybe one big thing of goldfish, and meticulously made this. Now, what were the pornographic images? I didn't mean to stop your fire, but that's
I
just
don't know
great.
exactly what the pornographic images were, but it was a little Easter egg. People would walk out to their mailbox, they'd open it up. It had one single goldfish, a piece of one square of toilet paper, the little drink packet, and a piece of pornographic material. I mean, she's doing God's work, man. So
Goldfish suck. Once you grow up, you realize goldfish fucking suck. That's a flavorless.
Well,
That's besides the point. I'm kind of yeah.
yeah, she did get arrested for it, because I didn't know this, but spread around pornographic material like that in uh, Florida is against the law. So she did get
This
arrested.
happened in Florida.
Yeah, there she is. She did get arrested, and but I mean,
Man, she looks.
she was doing God's work,
She
man.
looks like she would do something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so. I don't
Well,
think
yeah,
she
she
really,
does, man.
looks
She's got that.
like
She
she
got that
would
look
do
in her
something
eye
like
like
that.
she's fucking crazy.
But she did do it, and she got arrested for it. I mean, poor chick, right? I mean, she was just trying to do God's work. She just wanted to give some people something to eat, something to drink,
And something to
something to
jack
wipe
off
their.
to.
I mean, something to wipe their ass off. I mean, I guess something to jack off to, and
Yeah, I
then
mean,
maybe a little
obviously
bit of
that's why
toilet
she gave
paper
him
to
the
wipe it
fucking
up
toilet
with.
paper. Oh yeah.
I'm still stuck on the goldfish. One goldfish.
One goldfish. I
You know
mean,
the worst thing about this though, like the worst thing about this whole situation, I want one
a
just to
goldfish.
see it. No, I want one of her little packages. I want an
Oh,
egg.
well,
I want to
there it
see.
was. I mean, that's it.
No,
You
I
just
want to
don't get
own
the
one, man.
toilet. You don't get the toilet paper, and you don't get the pornography. But she was arrested. If you look online, there's actually video. Like the cop has video from his body cam of arresting her, and she's talking crazy out of her fucking mind and
Well,
shit.
she's already
And
got some mental illness going on. I mean, that's
obviously,
given there.
but she's talking crazy out of her mind. She said she had dropped off like 200 of those fucking Easter eggs.
200. So 200 mailboxes. That's
Yeah.
200 homes. How many blocks would
Yes.
that be?
That's a lot.
And
That's
think
a
about
lot.
it. You know she's not. She's giving away
Yeah.
toilet paper. Who the fuck's giving
Yeah.
away toilet paper right now?
She's trying to be helpful. She's trying to be helpful.
Hey, at least she didn't blow the winds of God.
Look, Tony says, "Holy shit, it's Carol fucking Baskin."
That's who was really sending the fucking Easter eggs. That's who we really need to be talking about. Thank you, Tony.
Carol fucking
Valid.
Baskin.
There you
Carol
go. There she is. That's
Oh,
all her
Lord.
fault.
Carol fucking Baskin. But I thought that was pretty fucking hilarious.
200 homes. 200 goldfish.
Mark asked, "Are you playing Tekken?"
Tekken 3's on behind me. PlayStation Classic. Yep.
Got it going on, man.
Figures a nice background. It's looking crispy while I'm feeling crispy. Hint, hint.
So, you know, hey, I commend her. You know, she tried her fucking best. She was just trying to help people out, give a little toilet paper, a little something to eat, a little something to drink.
Little
something to
fat
jerk
fuel.
off to. Is what it is.
She's a hero.
She is. She's a hero. I mean, you talk about like EMT people, firemen, policemen, all those people that everybody's like putting on a pedestal right now because of coronavirus. She should be
Okay. Take it down a notch.
She's on.
Don't
the
make fun
fucking
of essential
pedestal,
workers
man.
with
She's
this
there.
fucking.
Fucking food
She looks like
essential?
Malfoy's dad. Pull up a picture again. Remember Draco Malfoy's dad? Look at her. Boom. She looks exactly like him.
She's
Wingardium
fucking essential,
Leviosa.
man. She is fucking essential. Leave her alone. Also, I mean, while we're talking about Easter, and I know this is a really religious time for people. I know it is for Caleb. We this past March, somebody in the religious community actually passed away, and I don't think we talked about it at all. Did we talk about it, Caleb?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, at the beginning of March, Papa Neil passed away. He was actually on stage performing for the masses. He's playing a saxophone. He actually passed away on stage, so I think it's appropriate, during Easter to go ahead and bring up Papa and talk about his passing. Uh,
Damn, I didn't
Caleb,
know.
yeah, Caleb, how did Papa's passing really affect you at all, or?
I don't know, but you're focusing on the death. What about the rebirth, man?
Yeah, well, obviously, when you have a pope pass away like that, you have a cardinal that steps into his place, and we ended up with Papa Emeritus the Fourth, and there he is, our the person we should be following now. Yeah, he took Papa's place, and all is well in the world now. Wouldn't you say, Caleb?
I would say perfect harmony.
All is well in the world. So,
Indeed.
retro. You had something you were telling me about earlier today when I stopped by your house, and I had no idea what it was, and you told me that you were going to tell me what it was until the podcast. So what simps?
You don't
There's
know about the whole simp meme thing. Now, Caleb, before I
I
start
don't.
this, do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Now I'm gonna start off by explaining the basic definition of it and what's happening, and then I'm gonna go into the whole why it's hypocritical bullshit. You'll soon realize why. All right. A simp is defined as a man that puts himself in a subservient, submissive position under women in hopes of winning them over without the female bringing anything to the table. In other words, a man who puts too much value on a woman. That's the basic definition. And all of a sudden, all these neckbeard single type guys are calling any guy who has a girlfriend or treats his girlfriend good in any way a simp. It's basically a single guy's jab at being jealous of somebody who has a girlfriend. The
Uh,
reason, and it also spawned at the same time
Is that like
iDubbbz.
is that like a
What?
more appropriate definition of pussy whipped? I mean, that's kind of what it seems like to me.
It basically is. It basically is.
I don't. It kind of seemed to me like the guy friend. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy that's friends with the girl, trying to get in, but he can't never really get there.
Yeah, and he's like putting a lot of effort that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's
I can
kind of
I
how
can
that
see it.
sounds.
Look,
That's how that kind of sounds to me.
I can see it kind of looked on as that. The weird part about it is this meme came out at the same time this famous YouTuber named iDubbbz. His girlfriend announced that she has an OnlyFans, and all of a sudden, people are calling him a simp because he made a video saying that he was cool with it. And there's
All
been
right,
this
so
whole debate sparked about
do you
that.
want me to pull up the meme you're talking about?
Yes,
Or?
yeah.
Okay, so here's the meme, and now who is the dude? Is that the dude you're talking
That,
about?
I
yeah,
dub.
that's iDubbbz. Yeah,
Okay.
he's one of the like gods of YouTube. You know, he's made videos that have taken people down and blah blah blah. If you don't know, you don't know. You know, but
I mean,
that's his
I
girlfriend,
don't know.
right?
Yeah, he's a big time YouTuber, like millions of subscribers.
So is she like kind of like running him and controlling him, or?
No, it's nothing like that. She's another internet personality. She does Twitch streams and she has an OnlyFans. The thing is, they're not even nudes on it. Like the nipples are covered. There's no lewd shit happening. It's just you can buy a closer view of her boob, I guess. And people are calling him a simp because he's cool with that. And it's fucking ridiculous. His fans, half his fan base turned on. They're like, "Oh, you let us down. You were supposed to destroy the simps, not be one." I'm like,
Hold on.
"Yo, please
So,
stop."
because I'm still in the process of trying to figure out what a simp is. So a simp would be like, hey, your old lady or your girlfriend or whatever shouldn't be doing this because you're a simp, you're just gonna be okay with it.
Basically, it doesn't really have a solid definition, but it's they're using whatever means they can to use that insult. You know how
It's
memes
it
work.
Yeah, it's pretty new to me.
It's pretty dumb, but it's been pretty prevalent on YouTube.
Well, Mike, you're getting pretty
Recently.
old. So I mean, no,
I
you should be
am
surprised.
getting
Fucking,
old.
you should be
I
surprised.
am.
All of this is gonna be new to you, motherfucker.
It is. A lot of it's new to me.
Okay,
A
boomer.
lot of it. Okay, boomer. Uh, Tony said that's not it though. So I don't know what that means. That's not it.
It can like go into this realm of subjectivity where everybody has their own little thing about it. But that's basically what I've gathered from online. Like I don't have a definition of it. I don't use that term. I think if you're saying that, you're okay. You're just kind of saying I'm single. Like my definition of simp is single, insecure man problem. So I broke it down into an acronym. Yeah, I totally did that.
Because Tony might be teaching us something. Hold on. He said there was an e-girl who lost half her fan base when she mentioned that she had a boyfriend. So her fans were simps. I'm fucking confused as fuck now, dude.
Which e-girl, Tony?
Yeah, what e-girl, Tony? Because Retro's up on this shit.
I'm up YouTube ass.
It might be Twitch too. Twitch has had a fuck ton of people get taken down for shit like that.
Mm-hmm. What I said was I'm pretty far up YouTube's ass. I'm getting sick of it though.
Of YouTube?
Yes.
Oh God.
YouTube's
commentary
cracking
community.
down, man. YouTube's cracking down on a lot of the content. They're taking down a lot of videos right now that shouldn't be taken down. And
Tony said I don't know where I saw it at the.
it probably is.
Yeah,
Probably, my
he's
opinion. I bet you it was
obviously
probably Twitch or some shit.
Not a fucking reliable source. So why would we ask Tony? I don't know.
Jesus, Mike. You're
Mike,
a nice
you act
person.
like you're fucking New York Times, motherfucker.
I did want to bring up something else that I thought was really, really fucking cool. I still don't know what a fucking simp is, but I'll take it old school because I'm old. Do you guys remember? I know Retro does. I don't know about Caleb, but do you remember a time where the only chance you got to watch a movie was when it come on TV? Like this movie's coming on TV, and I gotta be there at this exact time to watch this fucking movie.
Not movies, but TV shows, most definitely.
TV shows.
I remember.
I
remember those times.
Too. Well, CBS is bringing back those times. Are they gonna try to? So, and the next month they're going to bring back movies, and they're gonna start off with Raiders of the Lost Ark, and each
Mike's
week,
like favorite.
Oh yeah, yes, that was one of my highlight Father's Day gifts was, which I gave it to myself, but I took my boys to see Raiders of the Lost Ark in theater. But they are bringing it back, and each Sunday for the next month, you're going to be able to watch a movie, and they're going to start off with Raiders. The next week's going to be Forrest Gump, then Mission Impossible, which after Mission Impossible 2, I don't think. Well, I watched Mission Impossible 3, but I don't really remember what Mission Impossible 2 was about. Mission Impossible 1's awesome. But then they're going to follow it with Titanic, and then they're going to finish off with The Last Crusade. And I think that shit is fucking awesome.
It's a pretty good lineup.
I love the idea of having to go make time to watch something.
Yeah, I guess if time is available, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I think what he means is like now everything's kind of there. When you pull out your phone, it'll be on Netflix, it'll be on Hulu. It's just there. There's no time. You don't have to catch it. You can just turn to it.
It's nostalgic to me to have to make time to watch a movie, or like, hey, I gotta look in the TV guide to see what time this movie comes on, or I have to look in the newspaper to find out what time this movie comes on at the theater. I miss that shit.
Well, you still got to catch movies at the theaters at the right time.
Of course. But I mean, you pull up on your phone, weeks in advance.
Back in my day, we watched TV on the radio.
Which is funny that you said that because a couple weeks ago, I don't know if Tony's still here, but I tried to get him to listen to it. I listened to War of the Worlds for the first time, and it's amazing, man. If you guys have never listened to War of the Worlds, the actual radio program, it
Right?
is great. I cannot speak
That's
highly of it.
isn't that from like back in the 50s or some shit?
I
Yeah,
can't
like
remember.
way back.
Yeah, it's way back. I can't say the actual the years on it, but it was way back. And man, it is so good. Listen, I mean, they're telling a story through like radio announcements, and it is trippy. And I can't imagine what it would have been like if you had turned on a radio back then and you didn't hear the warning at the beginning of it because they told people they were like, "Hey, this is just going to be a dramatization or whatever you want to call it of a story. It's not real." But once they started, they rolled on with it. But it's
Holy
good.
shit, man! 1938.
1938.
1938.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
And
Where did
see,
you watch this on? Was it on YouTube?
Yeah, I listened to it on YouTube.
Oh.
But I tried like I was telling Tony that he decided to do this. Fuck him too.
What was it?
Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Boom. There he
A
is.
little finger. Well, you did kind of tell him to fuck off, so he kind of told you to fuck off.
I didn't tell him to fuck off.
Well, you
But-
can. Well, okay, whatever.
But regardless, I was telling him like when Pearl Harbor happened and the United States got into World War II, it was states and areas in the United States that didn't know that we were at war in World War II for weeks because that's how slow news traveled. So you imagine somebody turning the radio on and hearing a little bit of War of the Worlds and thinking like, "Oh my God, the world's ended," and they turned it off and they thought the fucking world was ended, and that shit happened.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. I think I've seen something about that before, briefly. It's been a while though.
It happened. But we're gonna go back to retro. You had some other things you wanted to talk about, finger guns.
Let's talk about Biden.
Yo, Biden. So well,
Biden.
Well, y'all can go ahead and talk about this because I haven't even been watching this
Yeah,
shit, man.
we try not to get political on this.
It's not really getting
talk a little
political. I just
bit.
want to troll
We'll
him.
talk about, but Bernie dropped out, so
Mhm.
the only person left is old creepy ass Biden.
Follow your nose, wherever it goes.
Follow his nose. So there was a meme that come out that's pretty hilarious, and there it is.
I love it so much.
What the fuck, man? Where, like, what? Can anybody explain to me where this stems from? Because, like, it's funny as fuck, but like, I don't really
There's like
get it.
you can look it up. There's a montage of moments where he wraps his arms around some little girl, some lady, and legitimately sniffs their hair. It's happened so many
Oh,
times. There's
wow.
literally a montage of it. All right.
Oh, shit.
He has a sexual assault
And
charges.
kind
Well, not
of-
charges, but accusation on him.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of very friendly when he's around females, like kind of hugging them and
He's a creep.
really
He's a creep.
It's very
One of
He's a
those
creep.
It's
guys.
very very
Yeah.
creepy, man.
He's from Scranton, Pennsylvania. He's from the same place.
The Electric City.
I said Scranton. No, I'm not. Think about it. The
Oh,
office.
the Electric City.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Scranton, the Electric City.
His name is Joseph Robinette Biden.
Is he really
Robinette.
from, is he really from Scranton?
Scranton, Pennsylvania, dog. That's
The
where he's from.
Electric City. It's an office joke.
I know. I understand what you were saying. I get it.
I didn't know he was from Scranton. I really
Yeah,
didn't.
I was yesterday's old when I found that out, And I also found out. Well, it was weird when I typed in like sexual assault accusation. You know when you type something in on Google or whatever, you kind of get a couple of key things that pop up as a choice.
Yeah.
Well, nothing popped up. That's the first time I ever typed something in and just nothing gave, no options came up at all. They tried to bury that so hardcore the whole because he was very aggressive with a woman a few times. He's had ladies sign NDAs. My thing is, it's over. I'm done thinking about politics because that fucking presidential race is over. There's no way he's gonna win.
Well, the one thing that you brought up right there is that you Googled it and looked it up, and uh, Tony, who has actually been a dick during this whole thing, brought to my attention one time of it was some videos. I don't even remember what they were about, but it did show that like certain things for certain individuals, when you try to Google them, it won't pop up. And Hillary Clinton was one of them. You try to type in something for Hillary Clinton, it wouldn't pop up.
Don't say her
So,
name 3 times. Be careful.
oh God, how many times did I say it? I just said it
Twice.
once, right?
Twice.
Twice.
Just chill. All right, chill.
Chill.
I got a mirror close
chill,
to me.
Chill.
Oh
But
shit!
yeah, I mean, which kind of goes back to what we talked about last week with TikTok. I mean, if people are watching us and stuff with Google, they control what they want us to see. You know what I'm
The
saying?
media's way of smearing stuff is scary. Now they're trying to put out a lot of false corona numbers, and I'm like, don't do that. At least tell me the truth about that. Don't play with that. Mass media.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna say this, but I may get some flack back from it, but
Oh, what a surprise!
yeah, but it's I seen this post on Facebook that said that black people were not being treated as well as white people when it come to getting a corona test. And it said a study had shown. And I'm like, when the fuck has anybody had time to study whether or not
The care
certain
being taken.
individuals are getting certain groups or races of individuals are getting tests? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Honestly,
I know. I mean, I who the fuck
sorry, I didn't
did
mean to
this
interrupt you.
goddamn? I'm just saying, who the fuck did this goddamn test that said that black people aren't getting corona tests as fast as white people or whoever? I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, but what I'm asking is, who the fuck had time to do a test to do this?
I've heard a
Or
couple things about that,
or
but
a study?
I can't know if that's true or not. Like when I was looking up the stuff for these topics here, do you realize how many news articles I had to look up so I could siphon through the absolute bullshit? Sniffs Mike's hair. He threw me off. But no, seriously, how do you trust any news article ever? Like I wait for fucking Philip DeFranco to tell me stuff sometimes because I know he doesn't
I
lie
mean,
that
just
much.
like I just wonder. Like I just hate the fact that somebody had like I said, I don't know if this study happened or not, if it's true. And if it is true, I hate the fact, number one, I hate the fact that somebody said I need to do a study and see if black people and white people are getting the same amount of corona tests. I hate the fact they even felt the need to do that. But for you to have a study done within just a matter of weeks, where
Can
did
I
the
say
study
something?
take place? I mean, like, I don't understand it.
I'm sorry, I have to say this. This is where I might catch some flack. Okay? There are other ethnicities and races other than black and white people. We are not the only two races that exist on this planet, in this country. It always boils down to just that. There's so many other people. And I'll stop there. Soapbox, stepping off now.
True
I
that.
mean, it's true.
What do you think, Caleb?
True that, man. True that.
It's very true. I mean, I just like it just blew my mind where it said a study has been done. And I'm like, this shit, all this shit's happening right now. Who the fuck
A
had time to
recent
do a
study
study?
shows,
Yeah, I mean, but
and
it
my
may,
tiny little nipples went to France.
Corey, you should be on the news, bro.
And I do the cha cha like a sissy girl. I like a
a
do
real
the cha
sissy
cha.
girl. Oh god. I look. I gotta step. I gotta step away for a second. Caleb, can you explain to everybody what your why you're not doing video and why Superman is your logo? Why step away real quick?
I love how he just threw that at you and
Yeah,
then one went away.
yeah, yeah, that's funny. The video thing is because I am not comfortable with it quite yet, to be honest with everyone. And the second part to the question is every week from now on, when we do these podcasts or whatever, I'm going to take like the snippet of the cover of the comic that I'm reading for that week or whatever, and I'm going to post that as my image. So, and
Right.
then we got a few other things that Mike has been working on to help with the comic portion of the show to help make things smoother. So, hopefully that helps.
I'm looking forward to that in a little bit. The comic thing. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
comic.
Because honestly, for me, it's really, really hard because number one, I can't remember a lot. I have a horrible memory, and number two is, you know, describing something is kind of hard sometimes, especially for a very non-descriptive person. Like I'm not. That's not very much in my abilities, but I try the best I can to describe these books for people. But hopefully, with what we got going on now, hopefully this helps a little bit. So
What
Right.
I hate to cut in. I don't know what you're talking about, but
What you just
I
threw at
kind
him.
of I mean yeah I know what you're talking about, but me I was over at Corey's house today, and me and him was talking about how amazing you were at describing shit. I mean, if you know about it, you're fucking amazing at describing the shit. Yeah,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't
Yeah,
feel like it, but
you're well spoken as fuck, man.
I try. I try.
I
Something you
mean,
know and you're passionate about.
Yeah, I try
I
my
mean,
best. I really do. I try
I
to give
mean,
it my
like
all.
this whole time, like when we kind of come out and we talk about shit we don't know nothing about, or we bring up topics, you're kind of quiet and shit. But when we say Caleb, let's talk about the comic. You're on point. So Caleb, let's talk about the comic.
Bring on the picture, man.
All right, man. So this week we
Ba,
have
ba, ba.
Superman issue number 204. It is from June 2004. It's
Boom.
written by Brian Azzarello, drawn by Jim Lee, the great Jim Lee. I love this art. This is one of my favorite books ever. I own this book. I love this book. I had the graphic novel that I believe you can get this in a graphic novel form, and the cover is the same as the comic, and it's called I think it's called Superman for Tomorrow on the cover, I believe. And I had that graphic novel, but I actually ended up giving it to one of my nephews for their birthday because I really wanted them to get into comics, and I thought it was a great book, and so I gave it to them. I was going to a worthy cause. So, but yeah, I do still have the comic itself. We're about to look into, but basically, what you have to know before you get into this comic is there was this event right before this comic happened. I think it was like a whole like I don't know if it was like branching out into other comic series DC had at the time and whatnot, like an Infinite Crisis event or something like that, you know. But basically, Bad guy came. I don't know exactly who it is, and a whole bunch of people went missing. And Lois was one of the people that went missing. And Superman was not on Earth at the time when all these people vanished because this villain came and pretty much teleported everybody out. It might have been Brainiac because Brainiac can do that, but I don't know. But anyways, back to the topic. And I lost it.
And they landed.
And they landed.
And they landed.
And they
And then
landed.
they landed.
And I went blank. But basically, this does not have a lot of action in it. This is not a very action driven comic. It's a lot of standing and talking throughout the whole thing, which is kind of unusual for a Superman comic. But basically, this is one of those issues to where it kind of looks into the more human side of Superman. And he
But
basically he's not human, but he displays the feelings and the emotions that we feel, because that's not to me. I mean, I don't know. I could
He was
go
raised by humans.
I could go into a whole tangent of this, but like universal feelings and emotions. I think I don't know. This is really weird, but I lost it.
Go into the tangent you were going to go on.
Yeah, go on the fucking tangent, man.
I want to hear it. Hell yeah. Go, Caleb.
All right. So this issue starts out. Metropolis is in a bad state because all these people went missing. You get introduced to this preacher, and he's talking to. It seems to be like his.
Shut the fuck up, Mike. What a way to break the flow. The preacher, what, Caleb? You son of a bitch.
Nice. All right. But he's talking to this cop, and I guess that they used to date or something back in the day before he was a preacher. And they're talking about the old times. No, this preacher and this cop, and she's kind of a pretty lady. But they're both older, but you can tell that like they had something going on more than friends a long time ago, and they kind of mention it. But what they talk about isn't really important, but to me, anyways. And basically, they have this conversation about their past relationship and stuff like that, and that's basically the gist of the first couple of pages of the comic. And then after that, Superman comes down out of nowhere. Like, I don't even know where he comes from, but he comes down from the sky, and the preacher sees him. Yeah, he comes down from the sky inside the church. I don't know. I guess he came through a window. I don't know. It's crazy as shit, but it's really beautiful artwork, though.
He said it was Jim Lee.
Yeah, Jim Lee. Yeah, and
What's the year on this?
2004. Yep, 2004.
So when did Jim Lee make his transition away from DC?
He is the president of DC right now.
But I mean, he left at one time, right?
Well, he started off at Image and Marvel, and then he went to DC. And I don't know. I know that he's had side projects and stuff like that, but I'm not 100%. I don't know his whole career or anything like that. But I know predominantly since like the early 2000s that he's been with DC.
Okay, I thought he was at DC, then he left and went to Image. So,
no. He was one of the founders of Image, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I know he is.
Yeah,
I thought he left DC and went to Image.
No, he founded Image and then left Image and then went to DC.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, we all know Jim Lee's the amazing person that he is, and
yeah, he's got some great art, man. Always has.
He does. I think I could be wrong, but I think that the Secret Stash has a huge Jim Lee portrait hanging on the wall that he actually drew for him.
Yeah, man, and that art is not cheap.
Of course not. Of course not.
It is. But basically, Superman comes down, and the pastor's like freaking out. He's like, dude, like, what in the crap are you doing here? And then he's like, who are you? You know, he's like, can you read minds and all this crazy stuff? Because Superman's basically like, uh, I don't think you want to do that. Because when he first sees him, he wants to run, and then Superman grabs him, and then he's like, he looks at him, and then he goes, why am I here? Superman says to the preacher, and the preacher's like, you can read minds too. You know, it's just pretty wild, the encounter that they have. But he basically, Superman wants to give like a confession to the preacher pretty much, and he basically goes on to explain that, you know, when all this big event that just happened on the outside world, when everybody vanished, you know, he was off world and he was trying to save Kyle Rayner, which is one of the Green Lanterns. He was doing that. He was on a mission doing that, and when he got back, he said, you know, he was going. It's very descriptive dialogue throughout the whole comic. It's actually like Superman's thoughts, which I really like when they do the comics like that. And but
Internal monologues.
yeah, I really love that. And basically he just explains that when he gets back, that, you know, he said, I heard everything in the entire world except the thing that I wanted to hear, which was her heartbeat, because, you know, he's got really strong hearing, and, you know, he's like, that destroyed me when I came back, and I heard everything in the world was okay except, you know, I didn't hear her heartbeat.
Hearing
I
the
didn't hear.
heartbeat.
And then he's like, and
Carol fucking Baskin.
You know, Mike, I can't go to a bar with you, I realize, because you'll get me punched in the face. You'll say some shit, and then we having to fight because of your ass.
I think that we've already did this. I think you've done this comment before, or I've heard you talk about this.
You've probably heard me talk about it. I don't believe we've done it.
I don't think we've. I know I have not read it.
Yeah.
I know I've heard you talk about this comment before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it's really meaningful to you because I've heard you tell me about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this?
I'd have to say 10, in my personal opinion. Just
10
because,
out of 10?
I'd like to say 10 because I love the art. The writing is really good. The story's interesting, except for that first little part. Maybe I'll give it a 9.5 because the first few pages with the dialogue between the preacher and the lady, his lady friend or whatever, that really didn't, you know, I didn't. I don't know. I guess it really didn't add any flair to it. You know, what they were talking about didn't really grab me. But, you know, obviously when the later part, when the confession, that was definitely like my favorite part of the book. But maybe I'll go 9.5. I'll go 9.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know, if if I remember right, I don't really remember all the numbers that we give comic books in the past, but I remember uh, giving the first Spider-Man comic a 10 out of 10. Do you think that's better than the very first Spider-Man? I can't. Amazing Fantasies 15, I think.
No, but it's definitely a great book. No, it's not. It's not that great, but I think it's good. Yeah, that's
You made
that.
me
You
think.
can't.
I
You
realized I've
can't.
lost all my comics over time.
Yeah, I can't. You can't really compare anything to books like that because that's like a huge landmark issue, and that just changes like reality. Like books like that change reality, and you can't really hold anything else up to it until like that next thing happens. You know what I'm saying? And you won't know that next thing happens until 50 years after that thing happens. So it's kind of like we're never gonna live to see it. So.
Well, you know, I'll bring some up real quick. Because I don't know if you guys know it or not, but I'm kind of a big Kevin Smith fan.
Oh,
And
No shit.
God.
yeah, I'm kind of on that guy's dick, man. But
Well, so am I. I ain't gonna lie. You're not alone.
he was talking about Stan Lee in a way the other day that I never thought of. But he was talking about how like years from now, I'm talking about like hundreds of years from now, people are going to be talking about Stan Lee like he was William Shakespeare. Yeah, and we were able to walk amongst the time that Stan Lee existed. You know, years from now, people are gonna be like, "Man, I wish I was alive when Stan Lee was alive, so I could be picking up his books while he was making them and stuff." And I never thought about it that way, but it's true. We were
I
able.
think about that a lot, like with like the world news, like I mean, especially with going what's going on right now. Like I'm like, man, this is gonna be in a history book one day. It's kind of
So,
crazy to think
yeah,
about.
I mean, somebody's gonna be like, one day they're gonna be like, "Hey, do you know somebody that lived through the coronavirus?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
this will
gonna
be a
be in
legendary
history
time.
books. But
The coronavirus of 2020.
even though I I mean I've always thought a lot about Stan Lee. I never thought about him like, hey, this is gonna be somebody that somebody's gonna look at one day and say, man, I wish I was alive when Stan Lee was making books, when he was creating comics, and we were here. We were in that time. We were able to see that happening.
Every cameo in the premiere of each movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the I mean, we were here. We saw it. We saw it happen, man. It's truly amazing.
I think
You got
that's
me
the
kind of
most
in
amazing
awe thinking
part.
about it. Yeah.
I think that's the most amazing part of art is like, I mean, as long as it's kept intact, I mean, it's pretty much forever, you know.
Very true. Very true. Um, do you remember? I think that we gave. What did we give? The Days of Futures Past. I know that we ranked that one really high, but
Yeah,
I think now I could be wrong, but
I,
and I'll go back on everything that I remember from the past podcast, and I think the two comics that I read that really stuck out to me was Amazing Fantasies and Swamp Thing. I
Swamp
think
Thing
that
was great, man.
I those Swamp Thing blew me away because I did not think it was going to be that good.
Yeah, man, that was a great book. When I stumbled across it myself, as soon as I figured out and started reading about it, that's when I mentioned it, and then we read it, and yeah, it's really a great book.
But it we're now we're talking
That's
about the
Saga, the
past.
Swamp Thing with damn. My
Why
brain is
why
blank today.
well why are you looking it up or whatever? Was there any other comics that we read that really stuck out to you that was like, man, this was really good. I didn't know that was there.
Uh, hmm. Alan Moore, Saga, the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great series, great book.
Like I said, we only read the first one on the podcast. That's the only one I read, and I mean, God, if that's the only one you read, it's fucking
It'll
amazing.
draw you in instantly. You'll be like,
It
holy.
is amazing, and you'll understand why they wanted to try to make a TV show out of it. They wanted to do something. They made a movie. They made a TV show. You
Yeah, I
understand
was
why they
really,
wanted
really
to.
pissed off about the TV show. Really pissed off.
You
But
didn't like it? Why?
No, I mean, I like the show. I got pissed off because they canceled it before they even
Oh,
got a chance to see how successful it was.
I mean, was there any other comics that stuck out to you that we read in the past?
I will tell you, I don't know if we read it on the podcast, but I bought The Crow, the actual James O'Barr
Yeah.
hardcover. The Crow, uh, it's like his whole little stint. It's like he had several issues back in the '80s before the movie came out. It was a comic before it was a movie, and he had several issues, and I guess this is like a compiled version he made himself, and there's like a whole foreword, an introduction by him, and it explains that there's actually an extra few pages in the book that weren't in the original comics, and it's pretty cool. But that was a really, really hardcore book. Like, I really liked the movie, but I'd never realized how different the comic was from the movie, and how much of it they couldn't put into the movie because you can't show people stuff like that. Like, it is brutal. It is hardcore. It is very, very.
M.A. It sounds M.A.
Oh, it is
Mature audience
totally.
only.
It is totally MA. I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, it's psych ward stuff, man. It's psych ward stuff.
Psych ward stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's psych ward stuff. But and yeah, and I've not read them in a lot of comics like that, and that's something that's really stuck out to me was some of the imagery in that book, man. It like I was like, man, this is like wow. But yeah, check it out. It's on Amazon. If you can you like pull that up, Mike? Can you pull that up, Jamie?
Jamie.
Hey, Jamie, can you pull that up?
Jamie, can you pull? Well, at the moment, Jamie is giving me the middle finger. He's telling me to go fuck myself. So, no, no, go fuck
Who ate the last
yourself.
Hot
You
Pocket?
go fuck you.
Mike, we need to figure out a way to do that. Like, show what we're talking about. Like,
Video. I know we gotta do
That's what
video
we're
streams of this
doing.
bitch.
That's what we're doing.
I mean, no, like showing videos while we're on the shit.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
pull
like
the-
create stream.
like you did with
That's
the comic. Yeah.
Mike, you're doing a horrible job. Look at this. You're doing a horrible job, Mike. Step your fucking
I
game
think
up.
you really,
No,
really
this is
should do a
fucking
little
awesome. I've
better.
had fun doing this, but it'd be really cool if we could play videos too. So get your shit together,
just
Mike.
Fuck me. Just
Grab
fuck
your
me.
shit, take it to the shit store,
Mike. You're
all
doing
that kind of stuff.
Mike, you're
People
doing
messing me
okay,
on
but
Facebook.
step your fucking game up.
But no, man, this
God.
went really well. I think we gotta have Caleb do the comic thing every time. Next time, can you do a game, Mike? I wanted to ask a request for the next episode. Remember you had that like guessing game shit we did one time?
On the Christmas podcast.
Yeah, let's do that next time. Yeah, make another one for me and Caleb.
Well, I'll come up with something. I'll figure something out.
Okay.
Did you have anything else? Did you want to bring up or?
No, I'm fresh out of topics. I've just been kind of
Fresh out
coasting.
of topics. I think I'm done on topics as well.
For just about an hour.
Yeah. We can always bring up Carol fucking Baskin.
She looks like Mother Firefly.
Oh, Carol fucking Baskin, man.
Carol
But,
Baskin.
Carol, no, it's Carol.
Who ate the last Hot Pocket?
Baskin? God, Carol fucking Baskin.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
All right, look, man. I guess we'll go ahead and end it right here, man. Fuck, I've had a blast.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I love all that we have going on right here. I think it looks great. I didn't.
And I'm gonna stamp this I'm gonna stamp this to existence at 7:30 on Sundays. The Days of Comic podcast will be streaming.
The Days of Comics Past podcast will be streaming. We're going to do this every Sunday.
All right.
I mean, you know what? We've been more consistent doing this than actually sitting down and doing podcasts, man. So, I mean, at the moment, this seems where it's at, man. If we get Caleb to do a fucking actual video, that would be fucking amazing. Yeah.
Well, maybe we do a bunch of these and we have one special episode where he just comes in like that and we surprise everybody. Like, bam, there's Caleb. We give him the whole screen to himself.
Yeah,
Put him in like a chair with a bathrobe.
I'm like Kenny on South Park. Like, I pull the hood over, you can never see my whole face. And then one day you're like, boom,
I mean, we could do
Kenny's
that.
got a vagina.
You're not going to call me token, though. I'll tell you right now. I'll slap to both of you.
But you know, the whole thing about it is that me and Caleb have built a fucking podcasting room. He has the most awesome backdrop, and he doesn't want to use it.
I can't deny that you have a sick, like many different backdrop options. You could have Funkos one day, Power Rangers another.
I do kind of worry about the art that's like directly behind my chair, though, like the Witchblade and stuff, and then the stuff up top.
Well, you need to black out the fucking windows, man. Are you talking about sunlight coming in and hitting it?
No, I'm worried. Like, I don't want it to offend anybody.
Oh,
I
this is
don't
a
even know what the
podcast,
fuck-
dude.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Fuck,
I understand
never
that, but
se-
don't fucking
what
worry
the
about
fuck-
that.
Hold on. What the fuck is behind your chair that's offensive?
I don't know. It's some pretty revealing art.
Oh my god! Could you see like some side boob or something?
Technically, all three of us have tits. We kind of do.
We do.
Oh, I definitely
do.
do. I got at least an A.
I don't got mine down to a B. Not C no more.
We have boobs.
I definitely got at
We
least
have
an A.
fucking boobs. We do have boobs. Let me check the comments real quick. Yeah. So, there's a couple people watching. If you got questions, real quick, we'll answer some questions. I don't really see any questions. Steve said, "What in the hell is this?" I don't know. Steve said, "What in the hell is this?" It's a podcast ish thing. That's
Now
what
it's
it
a
is.
vodcast.
It's a vodka. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
A vodka. Is
Video on demand. Yeah, video on demand.
Vodcast. You watch the vodcast.
Yeah, it's real.
I do the cha-cha like a sissy girl.
Marcus
I like her.
agree with me.
Marcus would agree with me.
Marcus would agree.
Give a little bit more insight on what we do though, because that's like a podcast, but like we talk about all kinds of shit.
I think we're a little late for that, man.
Well, I mean, still, if people are asking, I mean,
okay,
Mike,
you tell them what
Mike,
we
you're
do,
all
Caleb.
the time advocating
Caleb,
like, yeah, we need to tell
you
people what the fuck we
tell 'em what
do.
do,
Like,
Caleb.
golly.
Tell them what we do, Caleb.
No,
Tell 'em what we do.
motherfucker, you tell them what we do.
Oh, you tell them, motherfucker. we're obviously
Don't make me. I will calm y'all down like cats.
Oh god damn! Do you have a dog?
No, I just used this for a fucking TikTok the other day.
Well, I mean, tell us a little bit. I mean, I know we talked about TikTok, but you have a fucking spray bottle. What'd you do with a spray bottle doing TikTok?
Well, this comedian named Nathan Hurd did a video, and he on the caption it said, "Duet this, show me your creativity." And he just sat there like he started to talk. He was like, "Hey, stop it!" He did it like 4 times. So what I did, I just made myself spray him. Simple as that. Doofy little video, not a lot of views, but it's fun. TikTok's therapeutic.
Steve said, I mean, can we get some impressions or something? Do you have any impressions? I really don't. I have, you're going the wrong way. My diary is in Berlin. Marcus would agree with me. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. Retro kid, you could do a fucking pretty good Stewie.
I can.
Do a Stewie. Do the smoking. You're smoking.
Brian, look at me. Look, I'm smoking. Probably not sounding too good on this mic. Okay, Mike, we're going to do something called a compliment sandwich. That's where I say something good, then say we need improvement, then end with something good. Okay, something good. You look like ZZ Top and it makes me smile. Well, you need improvement. You have smelly white man thoughts. I don't know, man. I heard myself. It wasn't that good.
I'm impressed.
Is it what he wants to hear? Is a different accent? Are we performing for this man now? Oh, you know what to say? What's his name? Chris what? Chris Wells.
Steve.
Is this a
Steve
good enough?
Wells.
Steve Wells. Whatever. Whatever. I don't care. Don't tell me to perform for you on the spot like I'm your trained monkey. Can we get some impressions, please? Can we get a regular fucking comment? Ask a question, you wanker. That good enough?
You fucking wanker. I love that term.
Piss off.
Wanker. Caleb, do you have one? We both done one, Caleb. Steve said that was actually pretty good, so you fucking knocked out of the park there, Retro.
I was just selling it for the sake of the shit, but I'm not talking too much shit, Steve. You know, you wanted a show, I gave it to you.
Boom! Knocked out of the park there. You got
I'm be honest with you. I ain't too good at impression, man. I can't do none of that shit, man. Goddamn old French fried taters on my damn mustard on my big. Mm-hmm.
You have some of the French fried taters tonight?
You all not talk like that. You just a boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're over an hour. Take us home, Mike. Me and you got drunk.
So we're gonna end it there. We will be back next Sunday at 7:30. Assuming around that time, we're gonna try to go around 7:30 every Sunday. And without further ado, Caleb, send us out with the quote.
By the great Barry Allen. Life doesn't give us purpose. We give life purpose.
And make sure you chase your fucking muse.